I have brought you guys to the heart of the city, to the Moja Tea Gallery, for the very reason that I have tracked down a Dr. G.W. Williams alumni, Mr. Doug Gerard. Now, anybody who went to that school post 1988 will be familiar with some of his artwork. He painted the large Wildcat logo that's in the gymnasium. Now, we're fast forwarding a few decades, and we're going to catch up and see what his artwork's like today. I'm here with one of the featured artists tonight, Doug Gerard, and some of you viewers might recognize him as a familiar face from Dr. G.W. Williams. Now, before we start talking about your artwork, have you heard that Williams is actually being torn down?
Yes, I have. It's a tragedy.
And what about your artwork that's up there? Now, for posterity, your Wildcat head is going to disappear forever.
Well, perhaps maybe your viewers out there could petition the mayor to maybe make a little plaque or something in my name.
Okay, we'll try for that. Okay, so let's move on to your artwork. Now, it's behind us over Doug's shoulder here. Now, I noticed that you work in a few different mediums.
Yes.
Like, I see at least 3 different styles of art here. Now, what have you been doing, obviously, since the Wildcat head painting days?
Well, I've kind of moved on from that, and I just work in a lot of various different mediums. I just basically like to play. If I get an idea, I don't want to be afraid to try something new. Like, for instance, back here, I've never done a mural before of this size, so what I did is I basically did a computer-generated mural in what's known as Illustrator, so I can make something very small and make it giant and very sharp and crisp, which is what I've done here. And so far, it's turned out really good. I've got a good response.
Now, also tonight, you're not alone. You're doing something that's like a combined call and response sort of thing with another artist, Elicsir. Talk to us about that.
Call and response, I like that. Elicsir, a friend of mine, we worked together, and basically when we were doing work and we had just a spare second, he would write a little bit on a stick-it note, and then he would have to leave because he couldn't finish it. So I would come back after him and continue on his drawing. So again, like, broken telephone, we'd play off of each other and write certain sayings and just make each other laugh. That's what the whole show's about. Just the enjoyment of drawing and creating, and just, maybe even if it's a small thing, it doesn't have to be a big deal or elaborate, just as long as you enjoy it and feel good about it. Hopefully people feel good about what they see on the walls.
Now, how long is the show running for? Because hopefully some of the viewers in Aurora will be able to make it down to Toronto to see it.
Yes, it'll be running for 1 month. And you can just come down to the Moja Tea Gallery at 306 Adelaide, which is in between Peter and John. And you should check it out. Some great teas and great ambiance and great art, music, the whole bit.
Okay, I'm here with Jabari Elliott, a.k.a. Elicsir, a.k.a. the other half of tonight's show, Sticking It to the Man. Now, how'd you guys come up with that name?
It's me and Doug, and we used to work together a long time, and Rafi would be like, go to the font area and fix this right now. So like one of us would have to go to the copier. So he would like do a little doodle on a post-it and stick it for me, and then Jabari, get to the copier and make this thing, So I have to go and I see the post-it. I'm like, oh, nice. So I just add to the post-it, and then he go add to it too, and as the postage grew, our friendship grew too.
Now, you're known as a graffiti artist, and what do you think about the changing face of what is considered serious art?
Graffiti?
Yeah, like, is graffiti considered a serious art form now?
Yes, I would say yes, it is. What comes after Dada and what comes after pop? You know what I mean? You need something there. So like, come on, we're not like surrealists right now. We're just trying to make another genre of art, I guess. So it's just different materials we're using, but it's the same kind of like mindset, composition, same kind of thing. But the late '80s slapped this thing called graffiti on. You
think it's getting a lot more respect?
Yeah, kind of, but at the same time, with a lot more respect, it goes over into the commercial world, right? And then that kind of like muffles it up and squeezes it down and spreads it out and thins it out and just makes it all like watery and stuff. You know what I mean? So like we just got to keep it fresh, like keep everybody keeping it fresh.
So I guess it's a bit of a double-edged sword then, that the more famous you get, and obviously you want to make money off your art, but then you start to get this fear that it's becoming too commercialized, and what, are you losing your soul?
Yeah, kind of. It's sort of like you run around the streets and you do bombs, you do big hits, like you do a blockbuster. A blockbuster is basically like you take out the whole side of the building with your name, right? So like Jabari Elliott right across the building, right? It would just be awesome, and that's like total like graffiti culture, like live it, love it, you know, that type of stuff. But then as you get older, I got a whole bunch of gray hair and stuff, you know, you gotta get the picket fence money, you know, make some stuff for your honey. So it's kind of like, I don't know, you have to sort of balance it perfectly, you know, because if you don't balance it, it's sort of like why you've been doing this all your teenage years, you know, you gotta make something out of it.
Not only is this the opening of the Stick It to the Man art show featuring Dug and Elicsir, which will be running to August 20th, this is also the grand opening of the Moja Tea Gallery, located here at 306 Adelaide West. Now, I know it's a bit of a travel to come down here, but it's worth it to get some great tea and possibly pick up a great piece of artwork. And if you're an artist out there interested in having your art shown here, you can check out the website at www.mojateagallery.com.